We had this thing happen in the last month here in the Bay Area.
There's been a lot of things that have happened in the Bay Area.
We called it the Les sweepstakes, the lead decision. We were hoping.
The La Drag. Because he La dragged it on.
That's in the Castro. We were hoping that Draymond Green was going to entice LeBron James to be a Golden State Warrior.
What a wild statement to say that Draymond Green is going to be the guy who somehow convinces LeBron James.
I mean, he is like his...
That's the guy we sent.
They're like best friends. So, like, we kept hanging on to... No, seriously, though.
I know they are, but
we kept hanging on to the relationship of Draymond Green with LeBron James as being one of the key reasons why LeBron might choose the Golden State Warriors in free agency. We thought that, legitimately. The fact that they shared Clutch Sports together, the guys have been golfing in Puerto Rico together, he's been privy to all these conversations, you would think, right? And that made us believe that maybe the Warriors had a shot at luring LeBron James.
We saw that video of them a few weeks ago, LeBron showing Draymond his phone, and Draymond's, laughing up a storm at whatever LeBron showed. And I'm just thinking in that video, I'm watching like there's no way whatever LeBron is showing him is that funny. Draymond is working this dude hard.
We got the Shams notification from ESPN saying, hey, the Warriors have interest in making a big four with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And it's like, okay, as soon as you send that tweet.
Big four is how many games would have been on the court together.
It's a 2 right now. As soon as you send that tweet out, Warriors fans everywhere are going to be like, oh my God, we have a shot at this guy. Oh my God.
Well, remember how giddy we were on this show when the news broke that LeBron was opting out of his contract?
Absolutely.
The process hadn't even started yet, and we were all getting giddy.
Because we were hearing from multiple sources, Slater, Windhorst, people that are in the know, that it sounds like LeBron's going back to the Lakers. That's what we all thought. It seems like that. Luka's going to get paid, or Austin Reeves is going to get paid. They'll bring back LeBron, and that's what it's going to be. Well, then LeBron opted out. That opened the door for a lot of teams, including the Golden State Warriors. But as we found out on, Friday when he made the ultimate decision to go to Philadelphia and join the Sixers, Anthony Slater joined whoever it was in the afternoon. I think it was Steiny and Goo or whoever it was. Maybe he was just on ESPN and said, yeah, the Warriors.
I think he tweeted it out or might have said it on ESPN.
The Warriors never feel like they were in the sweepstakes for a couple weeks now. A couple weeks. But then you get Rich Paul saying, hey, the Warriors finished in the top 2. Well, then who's lying here? Because someone's lying. And it's not going to be Anthony Slater.
I am not going to accuse Anthony Slater of lying. So I think, and you're seeing this yesterday, Shams put out a report yesterday that I guess the Warriors were, in or talking with the Celtics about a Jaylen Brown trade back in February. And
ultimately, the Warriors were the ones that passed.
Yeah, and
that's how he phrased it.
I don't like just calling out the integrity of reporters on things like that because Shams is basically the Adam Schefter of the NBA where
Correct.
I don't
he took over the Woj mantle.
Exactly. I don't believe it. There's certain people in each league who I don't believe it until I see them put it out there, whether it's Schefter or Rappaport in the NFL, whether it's Rosenthal or Passan in Major League Baseball, whether it's Shams in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not
John Heyman.
John Heyman, he's
Arson
except for the one time. Except for the one. I can't believe you. I can't believe you'd say that.
Sorry.
But Shams he's up there. But yesterday when he puts out that whole, the Warriors, they said no to a Celtics trade back in February. So it's just like it sounds like to me a lot of teams are using reporters to do damage control. It's That's what that is. And I feel like the Warriors need to get out and kind of play some offense here and, get someone out there saying, yeah, the Warriors really weren't in on this or anything like that. Maybe Slater was kind of doing some of that damage control. And he said the Warriors have been, felt that like they were out for the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, okay, then why were you still hearing stuff that they were talking with the Wizards about Anthony Davis? Or my big question of all of this is when you knew that you weren't in on LeBron, why did you go about still acting like you were in on LeBron? Like that, like,
well, there were
the minute you
Mark
knew
Stein, I guess, talked to Joe Lacob, the owner, and he says he wants to be in it till the end.
But you're not into it till the end. Like, that's my thing. Like, once you know that LeBron isn't happening, maybe I'm asking for too much here. Why not just say, all right, well, if we're not getting this, I'm out. We're going to go do literally anything else with our offseason.
Well, we teased it. The latest from Draymond Green via the Draymond Green Show, which is part of the Odyssey Network, on why LeBron ultimately did not come to the Golden State Warriors.
If you go back to Cleveland, even if you go back to Cleveland and win a championship, it's not going to be as good as 2016. If you go to Miami and win a championship, it's not going to be as good as 2012, 2013. Those two places kind of got eliminated just because. You look at Golden State, and I ultimately don't think Brown was ever able to get over the history. And I understand it. I get it. What we all ultimately always knew is like, that's the hurdle to get over. You know, we live in a day and age where everybody who doesn't have anything to say has something to say. And so he's going to get crushed if he comes to the Warriors. Oh, man, you went to team up with Steph. You had to go to them, da-da. And I think ultimately that weighed in on the decision a lot. That played a big role in the Warriors not landing LeBron.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that Warrior aspect of it.
There's a lot there. Okay.
Which one do you want to tackle first?
Clearly, Draymond is portraying or painting this image that LeBron is very conscious of how his legacy is going to finish on these particular teams that he was involved with throughout this process. He went through why he didn't want to go to Cleveland is because it wouldn't have ever felt as great as 2016's championship. Okay. He went through why winning one with the Miami Heat wouldn't feel as good as 2012, 2013. Okay. Then he said why he didn't want to join the Golden State Warriors is because of all those battles that they've gone with him and Steph. And ultimately, he didn't want to ruin that by becoming teammates. Okay. Why am I not buying any of these like reasonings? I'm not calling him a liar. Maybe LeBron told him that. Ultimately, I don't think LeBron thought he would ever win a title in Golden State. And he just didn't want to say that maybe to Draymond and hurt his feelings as a friend. Maybe he didn't want to be like, Day-Day, I love you. I would love to play with you. There's not a chance in hell if I join this team when we're winning a title. Well, not in the Western Conference.
Let's kind of get into it.
Because that's how I'm viewing it. The fact that was the excuse that LeBron James gave Draymond saying, I didn't want to join you guys because of all the battles with Steph Curry. Like, then why were they ever an option?
To be fair, let's
right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, can we replay it again really quick right now? Because there's certain things that stuck out to me that I want to highlight.
If you go back to Cleveland, even if you go back to Cleveland and win a championship, it's not going to be as good as 2016. If you go to Miami and win a championship, it's not going to be as good as 2012, 2013. Those two places kind of got eliminated just because. You look at Golden State, and I ultimately don't think Brown was ever able to get over the history. And I understand it. I get it. What we all ultimately always knew is like, that's the hurdle to get over. You know, we live in a day and age where everybody who doesn't have anything to say has something to say. And so he's going to get crushed if he comes to the Warriors. Oh, man, you went to team up with Steph. You had to go to them, da-da. And I think ultimately that weighed in on the decision a lot. That played a big role in the Warriors not landing LeBron.
So it's everything has something to say. He will get crushed. You know who else went through that treatment once upon a time? It was Kevin Durant. We all know that absolutely weighed on KD in one way or another. LeBron James, we also know he is indeed very, very particular and meticulous about his legacy, Joe. Everything LeBron does is
clearly, he just said 3 different reasons about 3 different teams affecting his legacy potentially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is very calculated in everything he does, Joe, because of how much he cares about how he is perceived and what his legacy is. He wants to be portrayed basically as the GOAT. That's what he wants to be.
There's a level of arrogance with some of these responses.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, honestly,
how
LeBron
it's
James...
going to be perceived if I win a title with Cleveland? Oh, it won't feel as good as 2016. Oh, it won't feel as good as 2012 or 13 in Miami. You're already shoehorning yourself in and winning a title? Really? Okay.
So I think he's trying to look at it in terms of, what the best case scenario would be. Like, the best case scenario on the Cavs won't be the same. The Heat won't be the same, blah, blah, blah. But what LeBron is trying to do is he is so focused on what is the best way for me to end my career on the highest note possible. That is what he's trying to do here. Now, let's set the Cavs and Heat aspect to the side for a second. Just focus on the Warrior aspect of it here. I do think there is something to be said about how LeBron James is viewed. And I think I've said this before LeBron even opted out, just the concept of him hitching his wagon to Steph Curry, a guy who beat him 3 out of 4 times in the NBA Finals. Say what you will about LeBron's the greatest of all time, blah, 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 blah. Steph beat him more times in the NBA Finals. That is
his greatest rival ever.
Yes, and Steph won those battles. Sure. Steph won the Steph versus LeBron battle. Then LeBron goes and attaches his wagon to the guy who beat him. For the final tour of his career, if you're a guy who's so obsessed with how people will view you and how history will view you, looking back on it for the rest of eternity, the rest of basketball eternity, LeBron James will be, among other things, looked at as the guy who decided to go hitch his wagon to Steph Curry at the end and be basically a number 2 to Steph on Steph's team. If you're LeBron James and you care about your legacy, your image, and your public persona that much, yeah, that absolutely is going to give him pause. And it is partly why I kind of doubted the fact that, or not doubted, but just kind of had a hard time truly believing he would come here, because overcoming that whole how people would view him for doing it much in the same way that Kevin Durant was crushed for joining Steph after Steph beat him.
So different.
I disagree.
No, it's not. Kevin Durant lost and blew a 3-1 lead with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And LeBron didn't lose to Steph? LeBron lost to Steph 3 times in the NBA Finals. You don't think that matters?
Are you serious right now? Am I arguing like that was
what part is incorrect?
Ago. That was a decade ago.
Oh, and you think people forgot?
Sam, that was a decade ago.
What's that have to do with anything?
I am not buying the Kevin Durant LeBron James comparison. People crushed Kevin Durant
because he joined the team. LeBron James for joining on to Steph's wagon?
Hold on. Kevin Durant joined the team that beat him and blew a 3-1 lead against in the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference, and then joined that team a year later. Much different than LeBron James on a Laker team that hasn't done diddly poo in years, joining a Golden State Warriors team that hasn't also done diddly poo in 4 years. It's not a comparison at all.
I think you're getting a little too...
No, I think you're not thinking about that enough.
I am thinking about it. And the fact of the matter is, Steph Curry has beaten LeBron James more times LeBron James has beaten Steph Curry.
So why would LeBron...
So what? That's why LeBron doesn't want to come here.
That was a decade ago.
He doesn't want to play in Steph's shadow. That is what we'd be looking at it.
What shadow? This team's not going to be
the shadow of Steph and Curry.
If LeBron James joined this team, there would be 0 championship expectations.
No, there would be no championship expectations. I agree with you on that one.
When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, they were the favorites by far. That is the difference. And it's a major one. Come on.
No, the fact that LeBron James lost to Steph enough to the fact that, LeBron's not going to want to go and join Steph on his team.
LeBron James would not have been called a cupcake. I think he would. Like Kevin Durant was.
You're going to try to say that you're the GOAT, and then you're going to go and join the team of the guy who beat you, and that's what you're going to do your farewell. Did it ever make sense for LeBron James to do a farewell tour with Steph Curry on the Warriors? Do you really think LeBron James, the guy who is so obsessed with everything about his image, is going to subject himself to that, knowing that everyone would probably shame him for that? And LeBron is that insecure over that?
Who was shaming him? Everyone wanted to see it. You're tripping.
He absolutely would have been shamed for it.
The national media.
As someone, you watch First Take all the time, you know damn well he would have been crushed for it. You know damn well how it would have been received. We live in a timeline where everyone has to be negative about everything he does.
History in the
how
last
is this revisionist history? What am I revisioning? What am I revisioning?
Every national media pundit I listened to wanted LeBron James to join Steph Curry.
And they're so steadfast on staying to their opinions. And one thing I know about Stephen A. Smith, what he says one day is definitely going to reflect what he says the next day.
Everyone is now saying, the national media is now saying they want Stephen Curry to leave the Warriors because they didn't get LeBron James. They're all saying it, Sam. I have Brian Windhorst sound right here saying, let Steph become a free agent. Bill Simmons saying the Warriors are the biggest loser after missing out on LeBron James.
Well, those are easy things to say. Those are easy things to say. They're going for clicks, Joe. They're going for clicks.
Your argument is all based on the media making fun of LeBron if he joined Steph.
Because that is what they do.
They all wanted it to happen.
That is what they do, Joe. You know this as well as anyone.
Oh, my. Okay.
I get why LeBron James does not want to hit
his fantasy land that you're living in.
It's not a fantasy land. It's a reality. LeBron James does not want to attach his wagon to the legacy of Stephen Curry. Why would he want to do that?
I don't buy that as an excuse.
Oh, well, there you go.
James,
you don't have to buy it.
Saying it. I don't buy that.
Well, that's how I see it. If you want to disagree with it, go ahead.
He wanted to win a title. Just say that. This whole notion of happiness, by the way, that Rich Paul and LeBron James are saying. I'm not saying
that's a part of it either. There's lots of layers to this show. That's why I said there's multiple aspects. That's why the Warriors were not in it. He didn't want to be a part of Steph's whole thing. That's the Warrior angle of it. The winning angle of it, that's where the Sixers come in. And that didn't come in until the Jaylen Brown trade happened.
Exactly.
I am curious.
Just say you wanted to win a title instead of jumping through these hoops as Draymond saying, oh, the title wouldn't mean as much if you went in Cleveland
Well, that
or
I
Miami.
think is nonsense.
Just say you joined the Sixers because they give you the best opportunity to win a championship.
There's only one reason that could be true? I think there's multiple reasons
That's
it
the
could be
only
true.
reason that matters right now.
No, I think there's lots of reasons. I think there's lots of reasons. And I think that's just one of them.
Okay, give me the reasons why he joined the Sixers outside of wanting to have the best opportunity to win a title. Give me all the other reasons.
I mean, no, that was the reason. That's why he's ring chasing here.
He moved to New York, by the way.
Oh, there you go. He's living in New York.
Yes.
Which is great. So there you go. But he's living on the East Coast.
Well, he probably would have joined the Knicks. The Knicks didn't win at all.
We all kept saying, staying near home matters. So the Warriors are in it.
Well, I think we learned that was a lie from LeBron James. That was a
We're
lie.
learning that all this stuff was lies the entire time.
Well, yeah, that's what he does because he's so meticulous in crafting everything he happens. That's why he's on the stage saying, oh, I got to trust the process. He does that on purpose because he wants idiots like us to spin in circles going, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And like the guppies that we are, we do it every single time, Joe. Don't act like reality isn't reality.
I'm not buying the notion that LeBron James viewed the Kevin Durant situation here as toxic and he didn't want to come here because of that.
I'm not saying that he viewed the Kevin Durant situation. I'm saying that is how I viewed it. I viewed it as very similar as like KD going to the Warriors, joining, that little super team, not exactly the same way they would be crushed, but they would be crushed in the fact that KD latched his wagon onto Steph Curry. LeBron James latched his wagon on to Steph Curry, a guy who beat him constantly throughout his career. Why would LeBron James at the end of the day go curl up into Steph's lap after Steph spent his entire career being LeBron James's daddy in the NBA Finals? I don't see LeBron doing that. What aspect of LeBron James? You watched him for 8 years in the Lakers. We'll get to the number in a second. 888-957-9570. I did it for you. What aspect of LeBron James makes you think that he would actually subject himself to that?
Subject himself to what? Playing with Steph Curry? Oh, my goodness. Oh, I can't play with Steph because of all the history we've had a decade ago.
For a guy who's obsessed with his legacy, that is how LeBron James thinks. You know he's that egotistical.
Obsessed with his legacy. His legacy is set in stone. He's the second greatest player of all time.
You really think he views it that way?
Yes.
He views every single second is a chance for him to alter his legacy and make it better.
I think ultimately he views himself, if I win a championship on a fourth different team, that puts me ahead of Michael Jordan.
No, it doesn't. I honestly think
that's how he might view it.
He is finishing his career as a ring chaser is what he's doing.
A ring chaser.
He is.
This notion that it's bad to chase a ring, by the way.
When you're trying to sell yourself as the GOAT, a little bit.
How is it a bad thing to chase a ring?
When you say that you're the GOAT his entire career, he's been leading these teams. Now he's going to latch himself onto one at the end. I think it's kind of lame.
You're assuming that LeBron James can't be the best player on the Philadelphia 76ers next year? You're tripping. He absolutely could be.
No, but he usually the finals every MVP team that he has gone to in the past, he has led the charge into that team. He led the charge to create that Heat super team with Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
He led the charge to create that Cavs super team with Kyrie and Kevin Love.
Sure.
He helped build up your little super team with Anthony Davis that helped the Lakers win a
super team now.
Yeah, okay, our little super team if you want to play that game there. I don't know why I would say our. But you know how whenever LeBron James goes, people follow. This is the first time where LeBron is the follower. He is following basically what the Sixers are doing and Jaylen Brown to an extent to Philadelphia, a city he really has no connection to just try and win a ring just for the sake of, you know what, maybe I could try and get one more ring out of this. That is all he is doing.
I don't know why you're so upset at the notion of LeBron James, and I think it's a total crackpot. Just say you don't think you can win a title here, of LeBron not wanting to come to Golden State and saying it's about the Steph Curry and the legacy thing. You think that's true? You think that whole aspect
I think he cares about his legacy that much that he is worried about somehow that being a negative against his legacy.
And that bothers you.
I'm just saying that's just what LeBron is. It's not that it bothers me. That's just what I think how he views it, because I think he is so cold and calculated and meticulous in all this stuff that he is going to go to the place that where he thinks that he has the highest potential to get the best praise for his legacy and what he does. God, this sounds like such a first take conversation. And that is how he views it.